I don't believe this fight could go on for much longer, to be perfectly honest. Like, it's definitely at the edge points, because Mahito is now going all out. He's doing a last-ditch effort, and if there's anything beyond this, like, it has to be some crazy, like, breakthrough powers where he becomes just some giant kaiju-looking hand guy. I don't know. But fight starts out, they've been fighting. Chapter starts out, like, they're still in mid-combat. Toto's doing a thing. I really like Toto's utilization of his power, because I mentioned it in other videos, like, it's not used nearly enough when I've seen other characters who have this kind of, switching power. And Toto's utilization of it, how much he uses it and how, like, precise he is whenever he uses it, I think is really cool. But him and Yuji are, they're throwing hands at Mahito. They're being really, really careful how exactly they can do this. Mahito's powers as well. I like, again, how weird Mahito's fighting style is. Like, Yuji goes to kick him in the face. Mahito has his head pop right off and has, like, a weird little monster version on kind of, like, control his body with, like, these eye stalks. And just starts kind of, like, lashing out attacks until they can get, he can get refixed back up. And he ends up making this this weird, kind of like a soldier, like a buffed version of one of his transfigured humans, I get from what we've seen, but one that I believe is, like, giving some of his power to make it, like, a lot stronger. When Toto is, like, gauging up, he's like, it must be around grade 2 to 3. It looks more closer to that of, like, 1 or something, so he just smacked him right through a building. But he's just, relatively fine. Like, Toto not being shaken much from this, I think, is one of the cooler parts. Just, I like that Toto is just this big meathead animal. Like, the guy just does not at any point seem like he's hurt. Even at parts where he's just beating the hell up, he's still got that smile on his face, and he's still going. Like I said, meathead gorilla is essentially who he is. But he's, like, throwing little rocks and stones and stuff to set up his switches, and this little transfigured soldier guy is easy for him to beat for the most part. Like, it didn't seem like it took that much effort. Like, the guy hit him, like, followed up on it. Toto goes for, like, a switch, goes for just this big massive smash right into his head, and takes him out. But there are 2 more to show up. I did like that Mahito, like, pretty much had all this going just to get Toto away from him, because Toto was an issue for him. And for the most part, Toto took one down relatively easily, and when Mahito goes for, like, a big move, he has, like, that same, like, weird mouth kind of attack, like these big monster moths, and except this one's covered in, like, blades and spikes. I like the upgraded version. Simple yet really cool, and Yuji's just doing what he can to get around it going and start laying attacks onto Mahito, just start hitting him. Whereas, bam, Toto is back. I like that Toto didn't take long going up and doing this. He was able to make short work of those guys. Like, it for the most part, it seemed like it maybe took a minute for him just to smack all these guys down. Which, again, plays into Toto's hype. Toto is a pretty hype character. Like, he is somebody that's sitting in not the same tier, I would say, as Yuta, but the same tier of potential as Yuta. Maybe he's not at Yuta's level right now, but I think he has the full capability of getting to that higher end position that Yuta's at right now, because he's a special grade human. He's one of the only ones, but we know that Toto is hyped to be a potential person to get up to that level. Same with Yuji, but Toto is way further in this line. But Mahito is just desperate. He knows what he has to do, but for him, like, he can't use his expansion regularly, because if he touches Yuji's soul, then Sukuna's gonna come out and kill its ass. And Sukuna was nice to him the previous time. If, like, he does it again, he's just gonna completely like destroy his soul or something. And he's going for, like I said, an all in or nothing. He's using his expansion, but for 0.2 seconds. And I really like the thing about Mahito is he's constantly evolving and adapting. I think it works with his character design as well, because he's like a parasite. He has no real form. He's just like this sick little monster that is constantly doing what he can to grow and evolve for the sake of just becoming more powerful and just becoming a bigger monster. Like, when we see the other ones, like, Hanami wanted to protect the forest, Dagon seemed like he was just kind of there, Jogo's was kind of like a partial version between, like, Hanami and Mahito, but Mahito seemed just all around unhinged, like he just wants to climb this ladder of strength and he just wants to destroy and cause chaos and mayhem. And it's exciting. Like, he's a very interesting villain. I like him, but at the same time, like, he's definitely like something they have to be careful about. And he's lucky that you know, he never ran into Satoru. Like, even though I would say he went out of his way not to fight Satoru. Like, I think he was smart enough not to go over, not to try and engage him, but it really just shows that he's somebody who, you know, struggled against Nanami before, and now he's going to be against Yuji and Todo at the same time. He's kind of like figuring out new strategies and new ways to implement his powers. He's definitely, again, at a much more further level of preparedness and a level that he's kind of like adapting the way he fights from like the experiences and things he's seen. Like what we saw against Satoru, when Satoru kind of, you know, used his expansion really fast, just enough to pretty much daze and stun all of them, and then bam, what happened after that? He just went in for the attacks. Like, that might be what happens here. Even if it's really fast, like, he might just drop his expansion, try and grab Todo and mess him up, and then go back to Yuji. I don't know how well it's gonna work. Like, I can see it kind of going very much, he goes to kind of grab Todo and then swaps with Yuji, so he grabs Yuji by mistake and then Sukuna just goes at him. That's how I can see it. Like, there's definitely, again, some risk for Mahito. He's definitely in a little bit of a, again, risky and dangerous spot, knowing Sukuna is poised up in the area. Sukuna is not going to let him just slip by if he ends up attacking him. He's not gonna do that. Sukuna is, for what we've seen, again, a very malefic person, a very aggressive guy that isn't going to let any of that slide. He absolutely will not, especially after the previous encounters. Like, he would probably get, like, face up right up to Mahito and be like, I kept telling you, I warned you, I did what I could. I've never been so nice to somebody before and given him so many warnings, but now I'm going to mutilate you, kind of thing. Like, just going all out, destroying him. It'd be such an unfortunate thing for Mahito. And Mahito, I don't think Mahito can die here. I think Mahito has to get away, because there's no way he's gonna kill Todo, and there's no way he's gonna kill Yuji. Like, I don't think he can kill anybody else this arc. He already took out Nanami. We already have Kugisaki in a bad state. So I can see them just getting set up to get Mahito the hell out of there, because the only people that's left to fight, and I put quotes in fight, Mahito for one, and then Geto, like the brain invader that is inside Geto's body. That's the only other person I'm like, well, that's somebody they could fight, but it doesn't mean they're going to. Like, that could just be something that gets off-screened and we don't fight that character and find out more about them till later. But other than that, like, there's not many people that like are a threat right now on this whole Shibuya incident. It's gotta be close to a close. We've been at this for over a year. So I wanted to start wrapping up, and I don't mean that in the way it's like dragging on. I think it's within range that it has to start wrapping up, because there's not a whole lot left that they can do. There's not that many enemies that for now that are going to just pop up. That at least that would pop up and be of a threat. Because even like those guys that popped up earlier, like the old man and like the old lady with her grandson, they were somebody that, you know, the main cast had to, put some effort into beating, but it's not like they were big, terrifying, like we need to get like reinforcements to go up against. Because like the only other one that's like, okay, yeah, you had the Toji kind of possession, but that was an anomaly. That wasn't something that they expected at all. So the rest of this arc, I'm hoping it gets into a nice comfy spot and finish it up, and we can see what's next in the Jujutsu Kaisen story. But other than that, they'll call it below. Thumbs up the video, befriend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.